So I've mentioned my pin collection in the past, but today I thought I'd actually let you see the whole entire thing. It's Disney pins! Of course, over the years working at Disney and visiting the parks, I've collected a lot of pins as well as a whole lot of other stuff. And really like my pin collection. I've had a couple of videos where I've talked about Disney pins and pin trading and showed a few of my pins and then talked about how to recognize them, but I don't think I've ever actually shown my whole entire collection. So I thought for fun and kicks, why not? I've got pins from viewers, I've got pins that I earned as a cast member, I've got pins I bought that only cast members can get, as well as a bunch I've traded for and others. So let's have a little fun and dig into my collection. And then you can tell me about yours, if there's certain pins you like or don't like, and what you've got too. Because while I'm talking about mine, I love talking about pins, like yours. So let me start with giving you kind of a close-up of what's on the shelves behind me that you might not necessarily get to see during a lot of the videos. And so you can see ones like this Figment pin right there. That's actually sent in by a viewer, and a lot of these are actually from viewers. And so yeah, you can see them sitting on my shelves here. There's a Soaring that was sent in to me. These are actually ones that I bought through Pinderella, and I believe that's all three of the Christmas pins from Christmas of 2017. Actually, it's 6 pins, because if you notice, there's 2 on each card. And then I've got the Small World pin there. That's also from a viewer. I've got a dinosaur McDonald's pin hiding there. This actually, right there, is one of my favorites. That's actually the Epcot World Showcase series. And you can see there is a pin there for each one of the World Pavilions at Epcot. So, really fun pins. And then I got a couple other pins hiding here. There is the Club 33 pin that my sister sent me, along with the Galactic Knights pin from last year. That was one you could only get if you were there. And no, I wasn't there. I was blessed and had somebody send it to me. You can see a couple more Star Wars pins hiding in there. A gnome, yes, I'm short. A couple that I bought last year when I was down there. Cedar Point Top Thrill Dragster pin hiding in there. There's actually a lanyard there, which you can't get anymore with their pin quests. And then a bigger Disney pin hanging right behind one of my old lanyards. And then these are actually a couple special ones that were only for sale to cast members. The Dumbo pin was actually, if you donated to United Way, you would get one of those. And then the others were cast member trading pins. So you only got those if you're a cast member. And yes, I've kept hold of those over the course of the years. So that's pretty much all the pins that are hiding on my shelves behind me while I'm doing the videos. But that's just a very tiny portion of my actual collection. So let me show you the big old mess that's the real thing. So this is the rest of the bulk of my collection. There's a couple other things hiding around here and there, but I kind of have it all spread out for you. You can see my vest that I used to have almost all the pins on, at least the ones that weren't on cards. And I've actually emptied everything that was on the back of it, as well as taken a lot of my other loose pins. And I put them into a book, because it's a whole lot safer and easier. But I still have some on the vest I haven't pulled off yet, just because my pin book, as you can see, is getting huge and heavy. I actually have a whole second binder. This is pins that are actually still on the cards, and I'll kind of flip through those a little bit. But I also pulled a couple things that were in my background as well. For example, these I've shown in a couple videos. These are the Tinkerbell pins. And then I've got a couple Year of the Million Dreams lanyards, which I believe I've also shown in other videos. I actually have a couple of the gray ones, which were the first ones. And I'm not sure where they went. I don't know if my kids stole them or what happened. But anyways, I have those. I've got another pin lanyard with Stitch. And I've got obscure things like if you join the Disney Movie Club, you can actually order specific pins there. So I have a Groot, and I got a Timon and Pumbaa, which they put in really weird, so you can't see that one very well. There's a couple pins from the Disney Movie Club. I've got a couple pin sets, too, that I bought. Just because these were in a tin, I kept it over the years. This is actually a series of, let's see, a dozen pins or so. And there'd be a grab bag of 2 or 3 in each tin, and so you'd open it up and you'd find out what pins you got. And so there's the teacups and the trolley. And there's a couple others in there. Give you a close-up look. Oh, one other thing I had that was on my backdrop that people may not realize is even a pin is this little board. There's one pin right there in the middle, and it was actually a set piece where you would then collect all the other pins and put them on the board. Well, I never got any of the other pins. I don't even remember the pins, to be totally honest with you. But there's basically a different pin for each Disney park. I'd love to get those. I have no idea where you could even find them. But anyways, let me show you some of the other pins. So, come in closer. So this is the vest, and you can see the princess pins I have. Yes, I do collect some princess pins, typically ones I've worked with or had some other special tie. That one's not an official Disney trading pin. You'll notice it looks a little bit different. But all the rest there are legitimate. Fantasia anniversary. I can't remember if that's a cast pin or not. And then we're big Narnia fans, so I've got those. And they are actually different. It does flip, which I could pull it out and try to flip it, but it wouldn't work. And then just a couple other pins that kind of fit into various different things. I got my Avengers pin, a couple other Mickeys. This is one that somebody sent me last year. At the end of the year, so I got to wear that when I went to Disney last time. My folder has all sorts of stuff. This is all my Figment pins. So yes, I got my whole complete flag series from Epcot, and then several other Figment pins. I probably need to take the one from my shelf and put it in there, but it gives you a good look at what's there for Figment. And then, see, these books are nice because you got felt pages to hold the pins, and then a page in between to help preserve them, assuming you don't punch holes through the middle like I did. These are various kind of unofficial Disney pins. Some of these are from church. There's a couple other things on there from different places as well. And then I started with the Disney official. You got Star Wars. And again, I got a couple pins still on the back. So if I still have the back for the pin, it is not here. There's the Disney Villain Hearts, a Christmas, couple Donalds. This is actually my wife's pin, which is a really nice pin with Belle. Not sure where my wife's other pins are, but my kids both have theirs, so they can't show you that. Disney Paris pins, so those are pins just from the Disney Paris trip. Fast Pass and ticket pins, and then I start in with the cast member pins. From here, the next couple pages are all pins that you had to be a cast member to buy. A couple of these are off lanyards, but most of these are ones you had to go to the Disney Cast store and buy them there. This one's actually a lanyard pin. So the only way you get these is if you worked at Disney and you went to Company D and bought them, or if you had a friend who did. And this is all park pins. I'll come back with more Disney Cast pins. This is all kind of my Disney World classic collection. So you can see a couple Animal Kingdom, of Blizzard Beach, an Epcot, which will spin and show you all the different flags. And then a couple classic series. This is actually a lanyard starter set, but I really liked it. And then back to more cast pins. These are workspace pins. This pin, the only way you got it was if you took a cast member tour of Magic Kingdom because you were a new employee. Same thing with this one, except that's for Epcot. So the only way you got those pins is if you were a new hired cast member going on a tour to familiarize yourself with the park. And then you could also see a couple others. Backstage Magic is a cast pin. These are the safety pins. And they actually have cards, trading cards that go with those as well. So I love those pins because they're special. And then these are all also cast member exclusive pins. I tried to get pins for days that I worked at the park and covered the holidays when I was there. A lot of times I didn't have money to go buy the pins because, they weren't cheap. It adds up in a hurry. But all of these were holidays that I actually worked at the parks. In a couple extras, you can see Imagineering is there, and then the cast portal. So there's a couple special kind of behind the stage ones. Those should probably go out on my other page. But everything there otherwise is just strictly from working at the parks. And to kind of commemorate the days I worked. And then I've got several of my Chippendales. This is another series I really loved. I really wish I had more than just that one, where Disney's thanking people for their service. And there's a firefighter pin, an Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force, Coast Guard. Just a neat series, but very, very popular. And I didn't get those when I wish I had, and so I didn't have them. And then a couple blank pages. Then the other pins I've got, if I can close this thing. These are the ones I have not taken off of the cards. And I actually found out that baseball card or sports card pages are perfect for holding them. So that's what they all are. Again, we got a whole bunch of Paris pins. So these are all from Disneyland Paris. This is also a Disney Paris, so that's what kind of my Disney Paris page. And you can see a couple others. Build a Pin doesn't exist, and then a Hershey Park pin. Disney Store for commemorating my time when I actually worked at the Disney Store. Yes, I really did do that a long time ago. A few more from Disneyland Paris. These are all attractions. So that whole page is from Disneyland Paris. Love that whole series of pins. So I didn't have enough money to get all of them, but I picked up my favorite attractions that way. So they fill out a page really nice. And you can see I actually ended up with 2 of the Tower of Terror pins. A couple other parks that fans have sent me. So there's your Kings Island, and then Fast and Furious, SeaWorld pin. I believe a guest or a fan sent me that one, the Alton Towers pin. There's my other Club 33 pin. And then these start in with cast member pins. So if you see it in kind of the plastic wrap like that, that is actually a cast member only pin, and those are also from Company D. And again, the only way you could get those is if you work there. So this is a lot more cast member pins here. And so you can see the cast member, of course my classic Figment there. This was the first PhotoPass pin that we came up with. It doesn't say PhotoPass on it, but one of our PhotoPass photographers designed that. Earn My Ears, which if you've ever worked at Disney, yes, you have to earn your ears. This is one that my daughter and I fought over a little bit because it's mine. She was a big Tinkerbell fan. Yeah, you hear her whimpering behind the camera.
Cute.
But, you know, Figment has a Guest Fanatic card. So that is a cast member pin there. If you sang in the Candlelight Processional, you could get one of those. Or a Cast Christmas. I didn't sing because nobody wanted me to sing. But I still managed to snag a pin. And then more cast pins. There's a partner statue. Cast member. Oop, don't have my glasses on. But you can see some of the different unique pins that cast members could get. 25th Anniversary Epcot. Yep, 4th of July, Independence Day. The opening of the Monsters, Inc. Comedy Club. And we'll see how much longer that sticks around. Opening of the Living Seas with Nemo. So several ride opening pins in here as well. And then a couple, again, all of these are cast member exclusives. So the anniversary for Lights and Motors Action, which isn't there anymore. I'm happy I recorded it in France. Labor Day, Dave Smith Collection. These were a very popular series of pins. So you can see a whole bunch of them. Cinco de Mayo. And Thanksgiving. There's Christmas in there. Easter. Another Earning My Ears for Mickey. And again, all cast member exclusives. This series has a couple that I have, but so just some very unique, harder to find pins that if you didn't work at the park, good luck getting these. And no, I'm not willing to trade these or sell them. These are all special to me for various reasons. You know, Stitch, that was another one that my son tried to get for me from Stitch. Nope, that's a cast pin. That's mine. Can't have it. But it was really fun to be able to get all these pins and kind of use them to help remember when I used to work at the park. Oh, and here's something you may not realize. I actually have 2 of those. But yes, they've got different sides. It flips around. So that's why I'm keeping both. So there are 1 or 2 that I have a duplicate of. So you can see I do have 2 of the Tower of Terrors. I have 2 of these. Those are about the only ones I really have duplicates of. Everything else is singles, unique ones from when I worked.
Ta-da.
A lot of those pins, especially in this folder, are very special. They're personal. A lot of the pins I have in the other binder are. Some of them aren't quite as meaningful. There's a lot of pins that have special meaning to me, and that's part of the reason I've collected it. It's not just, oh, is that a neat pin or is it a cool pin? It's, does this pin mean something to me? Is it a place I worked or a time I worked or something that ties in with me somehow? The character pins that I do have, in particular Donald, Chip and Dale, and a couple of those, are characters that I worked with, including a couple of the very first characters I worked with. Part of the reason I'm into the Donald pins, and I've always liked Donald, was because he was actually the very first character I ever worked with. And so there's a special tie that way, and then Chip and Dale came right along, and yeah, they gave me the Troublemakers right at the beginning. So that's kind of a look at my pin collection. So those are my Disney pins. I kind of hope you enjoyed looking at that collection. I know, I hope you don't think I'm bragging too much, but I've had a lot of fun over the years collecting these, and even when I go back to Disney here in October, I'm already working on making sure I have pins ready to go to trade while we're there, because I love pins. They're just a fun thing to collect. I've had somebody ask, what do I think my pins are worth? And honestly, I have no idea. I know there's a bunch there. I know there's some special ones and some limited edition. I don't know what they're worth, but, hey, maybe somebody else out there can take the time to figure it out. I just love them. I'd love to hear what else you collect for Disney, too, if you collect pins or other things. In another video here in the future, I'll be sure to show off some more of my collection. Not just the pins, but I'll show off all the other stuff that I collect as well. Some of which you can see behind me, and some of which I have in all sorts of other places. So watch for that video coming soon, too. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me as well. I love all of you. You guys rock. Don't forget to hit the like and share button and comment below as well. Thanks so much and God bless.
Obscure.
No, those aren't getting open. What?
Obscure. You said obscure.
Obscure. I talk better than my sister. My sister? My daughter. Who are you? How long is it? If you want to know whenever I have a new video out, well, hey, make sure you hit that button right there and subscribe. If you want to see another video right now, well, I've got a great one right here for you. And if you want to be like these wonderful people here and help support me financially on Patreon, well, check out that link right there and it'll take you to it. Thanks so much and God bless.